Ciao everyone and welcome back to another episode of Learn Italian with Songs. Today we are going to talk about Amor by Achille Lauro because as I promised this week is going to be dedicated to all those songs that in Italian we like to call tormentoni estivi. So we could say the summer hits that you are going to listen to everywhere. And probably will continue next week as well. It depends if you want, because it is that time of the year where the summer hits pop out like mushrooms in a wet day. But today we are going to talk about a song that probably is going to become a summer hit, but wasn't really born to become a summer hit. However, as Achille Lauro rightfully said in one of his interviews, we had back in the days, but also more recently, sad songs that became summer hits, because many people think, oh, summer hits, so you need the beat, you need the vibe, the mood to dance it on the beach, at the club and whatnot. No, actually, the summer hits, at least in Italy, are those everyone knows because they are played quite everywhere. And yes, they can be sad as well. And in fact, of course, our dear Achille Lauro can't be happy in one of his songs. No, of course, I'm joking. But at least this very specific song, like many others, is a sad song, because in this song he's struggling with a love story, but not really with a person. So let's start as usual from the title, which has something peculiar. In fact, the title is Amor, the truncated form of the Italian word amore, love. But there is a peculiarity. If you notice in the title, in the official one, you can find it, for example, in the title of the official video clip, Amor is written in caps lock, okay, with all the big letters. Why? Because if you read it in the other verse, Amor is read as Roma, Rome. And in fact, this song talks about a love story between the artist and the city, or at least one of the cities he calls home, thus Rome, or in Italian, Roma. It is not the first time that happens. Tony F already did it for Sanremo 2025, but the vibe for Achille Lauro is a little bit more serious and dark. So, in fact, this song comes from an album. Yes, it was released also as a single, but it comes from an album that is called Comuni Mortali, Ordinary Mortals. It is his 7th album, and this album has 12 tracks. Now, a little note. In this album, we find a song among the tracks that we already know, because we already talked about it for Sanremo 2025. In fact, the 7th track out of the 12 composing the album is Incoscienti Giovani, the track that represent the entry by Achille Lauro for Sanremo 2025 edition. In the complex, the album, as the author, the artist said, is the musical tale of our fragilities. And in fact, we are going to find several fragilities, or at least the description of a fragile love or a complex love he has with Rome. And in fact, in the song, Rome is sort of personified as a woman, because let's remember that in Italian everything has a gender, so cities as well. And since city, città, is a feminine name, usually cities are seen as women, okay? Rome as well. And thus, this is a song dedicated to her, where her is Roma. Again, Tony F did something similar, but still different. So, as usual, let's talk about the lyrics. We start with the classic first verse. The structure of the song is quite classic. Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we start with the dedication. Stanotte è per te. Tonight is for you. E se non tornerò domani, è lo stesso. And if I don't come back tomorrow, it's the same. Se butterò la vita nel cesso, vai avanti. If I throw my life in the toilet, where cesso is a toilet but a bit vulgar, go ahead. Keep going. Smettila, non piangere. Stop it, don't cry. Anche se la vita è questo. Even if life is this. E se rimarrà solo un biglietto, and if only a note will be left, tutto quello che ho fatto, l'ho scelto. Everything I've done, I chose it. Stanotte sì, lo rifarei. Tonight, yes, I would do it again. Per te, che mi fai sempre quell'effetto della prima sera. For you, who always have the first night effect on me. So basically, for you that are always beautiful like the first time I saw you. Always fresh love. So of course here we have the classic description of the bad boy who is going to throw away his life. In fact, buttare nel cesso qualcosa means like to throw something away, to ruin it. It is like an idiomatic expression, a bit vulgar, of course, so just keep this in mind. And of course, our bad boy wants to dedicate this night to his lover, Roma, but probably tomorrow he's going to leave. Probably tomorrow he's going to throw his life away. It's like so... I don't even know how decadent vibe, sort of. So, don't worry if I don't come back. Such is life, and even if only a note will be left, just keep in mind that everything I did, it was my choice, and I will do it again. For you that who are beautiful as the first night I saw you. Then we have the chorus. Dimmi cosa resterà. Tell me what will remain se mando tutto in fumo adesso. If I blow it all up now. Questa notte è l'ultima. Tonight is the last. Per noi qui sotto un cielo immenso. For us here under an immense sky. Sarebbe facile amare. It would be easy to love. Se conoscessi la cura, if I knew the cure. Abbracciami, Roma. Hug me, Rome. Prima di addormentarci stasera. Before we fall asleep tonight. So, our protagonist, our artist, is about to leave, and tonight we spend together is the last one under this immense sky. And of course, our protagonist is troubled. For him, love is something that needs to be cured, etc., etc. So, mandare in fumo is an idiomatic expression literally meaning to send into smoke, okay? As in to burn, sort of. And of course, more broad, in a broad sense, it means to destroy something or generally make something fail, ruining and whatnot. And then we have the second verse. Vabbè, fa lo stesso. Oh well, vabbè literally is va bene, everything is going alright. It's the same. Non cambierò la vita che ho scelto. I won't change the life I've chosen. Non rinuncerò a portarti a Trastevere. I won't give up on taking you to Trastevere. All'alba a fa una serenata. At dawn to serenade. E stanotte è per te. And tonight is for you. Per te che poi mi aspetti lo stesso. For you who then wait for me anyway. A te che trovi sempre un momento. To you who always find a moment. Se ti mancherò, dimmi, torna presto. If you'll miss me, tell me, come back soon. Amor, Roma. Me so fatto grande. Love, I've grown up. Now a couple of notes. Fa lo stesso means it's the same, but literally speaking, in Italian you use the verb fare, to do or make, okay? Again, we are talking about choices in life, and Trastevere mentioned. What is Trastevere? Trastevere is the 13th enlarged district, or rione, of Rome, and its name comes from the Latin trans Tiberim, beyond the Tiber, the Tevere, the big river crossing Rome, because in Italy, of course, we really like building cities around rivers. Rivers fun, 10 out of 10. And then we have, of course, a bit of Romanesco, the dialect spoken in Rome. In fact, he says all'alba a fa una serenata, which in Italian would be fare una serenata, because in Italian you do not serenade someone. Fun fact, I didn't know that in English serenade is a transitive verb. Today I learn. So normally you serenade someone. In Italian is different because you make or do a serenade to someone. Serenata is a noun, okay? So we say fare una serenata a qualcuno, per qualcuno, okay? Usually a qualcuno. But you can also omit the last part and simply saying fare una serenata, so like to make the action of serenading, okay? And then we have another sprinkle of Romanesco. Me so fatto grande. Literally, I made myself big, which in Italian would be sono diventato grande, or sono diventata grande. Of course, there is also the feminine here. The artist is a male, so he's using the masculine. And so it means I've grown up, but in Italian it is io sono diventato grande. I became big, grown up, okay? Then we have once again the chorus. Dimmi cosa resterà se mando tutto in fumo adesso. Questa notte è l'ultima per noi qui sotto un cielo immenso. Tell me what will remain if I blow it all up now. Tonight is the last for us here under an immense sky. Sembra facile amare se conoscessi la cura. Abbracciami Roma prima di addormentarci stasera. It would be easy to love if I knew the cure. Hug me Rome before we fall asleep tonight. Yeah, indeed, Alex. No. Then we have the bridge. Again, dimmi cosa resterà se mando tutto in fumo. Tell me what will remain if I blow it all up. Quoting the chorus. Ma che resterà di me se non verrò da te? But what will remain of me if I don't come to you? In Italian, we use in both cases in the hypothetical period the future, so ma che resterà, future simple, di me se non verrò, future simple again, da te. Quando non c'è più nessuno, where there's no one left, quando non avrò più un posto, when I no longer have a place, per addormentarmi al sicuro, to fall asleep safely. Now, here we have the indicative, non c'è più nessuno. Here we have the future simple, quando non avrò più un posto, per addormentarmi al sicuro, to fall asleep safely. And then the chorus again used as an outro. Dimmi cosa resterà se mando tutto in fumo adesso. Questa notte è l'ultima per noi qui sotto un cielo immenso. Tell me what will remain if I blow it all up now. Tonight is the last for us here under an immense sky. Sarebbe facile amare se conoscessi la cura. Abbracciami Roma prima di addormentarci stasera. It would be easy to love if I knew the cure. Hug me Rome before we fall asleep tonight. And that was the lyrics of the song. Quite clean and simple, to be honest. Now the gossip, because I have some. Okay, so first of all, this is not really gossip, this is just a cute thing. If you go and check out the video clip, okay, the official video clip of the song, you'll see that the video clip is a sum of clips taken from the live concerts. So you have the fans at the concert singing the song. Because Achille Lauro really loves his fans, at least here in Italy. And it was quite cute. And it's funny because, of course, in Italy, we really care about football or soccer, as you prefer. And, of course, we have accessories of the several teams, okay? Of the several football clubs. And Roma is the football club of Roma, the city. Usually in Rome you have two main factions. One is la Roma, one is la Lazio. Il Lazio is the region where Roma is. Also, normally the football clubs and the football teams are women, are feminine, because it implies la squadra di calcio, the football team. And in fact, we have la Roma, la squadra di Roma, la Lazio, la squadra del Lazio, okay? And there is this clever play on words if we want, because in one of these concerts you can see that the fans have these scarves, because one of the very common accessories for football clubs are the scarves. And usually on the scarves there is the name of the team, okay, of the football club or the football team. And so, of course, le sciarpe della Rome's team scarves have written on it Roma. So, in the clip, you see all the fans holding the scarves on which is written Roma. But then in the video clip, the clip is mirrored. So instead of reading Roma, you read Amor, which is the name of the song for Roma. 200 IQ tricks. That said, let's go and talk about the gossip. This is, of course, concerning also this song, but generally it is a criticism made towards the whole album, the album tracks. So, in the interviews I listened to and that I read, Achille Lauro describes this song as a classic. He said, when I wrote this song, it came out naturally. It was already a classic that was waiting to be written and sung. Because, of course, we are talking also about the music. It is very Italian if you listen to it. So, yeah, technically, you could recognize it easily as an Italian classic, okay? But not because he wanted to brag, like, oh my god, it was already a classic, I just had to put it down and sing it. No, he said it came out naturally from my heart. And he said, and in fact, when I started to bring it into the stadium, people were already singing it naturally, like it always been there, right? It is true that the melody is simple, there's no rap, so it is quite easy to sing. The lines are short, you saw to have the commentary. I was like, how much did they need? Like 15 minutes or so? Something like that. Because objectively, the song is easy. There is no complex metaphors. No, but it's not something bad. Like sometimes less is more. So it makes sense. And that's why I'm saying probably this is going to be an unplanned hit song, okay? Summer hit song. Because it is romantic, you can dedicate it to basically whoever you want, okay? There is that little bit of struggle that we like, because simple things are not for Achille Lauro. There is no happiness, like the video is even in black and white, just to point out the struggle, a little bit like in Coscienti Giovani, and in fact it is the mood pretty much of the whole album. And again, it is easy, the lines are quite smooth, quite easy to memorize, the chorus is repeated 3 times, so the memorization is quite easy. Makes sense. And pretty much that's it. In my opinion, it is a fair point. Not all songs have to be long ass ballads or like having 40 lines of rap where you have to go so fast to fit the times of the radio, usually around 3 minutes. Because, of course, we need also our beautiful summer songs. Yes, what we talked about yesterday in Scelte Stupide was a little bit longer because we had the rap parts, but usually the songs, okay, the summer hits are quite, how can I say, are quite easy, like quite simple, because the whole point is that you have to dance on them. They have to be easy to sing, because the whole point is to sing with your friends at the beach, at the pool, I don't know, like easy environments. Like for the summer, in Italy, you chill, usually. Mainly for the students. The university students a little bit less, but the other students, they chill, of course. And anyway, also children often sing the songs of Achille Lauro, probably without understanding what the lyrics said, because otherwise they might be a little bit too depressed. But it's okay. Even the music is quite classic, but not sad. I wouldn't describe it like that, to be honest. And yeah, pretty much how it was described by Achille Lauro makes sense. However, not everyone thinks the same. And as I said, not only for this song, but for pretty much all the songs, generally the album, okay, in its complex as a whole. And in fact, a journalist from one of the most famous Italian, oddio, maybe not the most famous, but still one of the main Italian newspaper. This journalist wasn't very happy about the whole album. And in fact, it was described as the musical style, pop with very high songwriting pretensions, and rather banal delivery, finding in the artist a total inability to disappear from his own songs, to leave them free and not chained to having to represent at all costs the emotionality of a character constructed from top to bottom. So, I don't know why specifically this journalist is hating so much on Achille Lauro, but the point is that this journalist thinks that Achille Lauro is a fake character, okay, so it is a persona built specifically for his audience. So, according to this journalist, Achille Lauro is a K-pop idol, just to put it in perspective. What he's implying is that nothing he sings about is authentic. Personally, I don't agree, but okay. He is incredibly fake, and each song is just aimed to keep building this image of his persona. Knowing a little bit of background story of Achille Lauro, I personally don't think so. He actually said, I often sing about stories that are not my stories, but stories that I've seen in my life because I was living in a situation where I had the chance to meet many people who had troubles in their lives. In fact, in one of the interviews of Sanremo 2025, I think, he was explaining the concept of incoscienti giovani, and he explained that these incoscienti giovani, so the reckless youth he was singing about, were actual people he met thanks to his mother, who was working as a volunteer, trying to help young people out, to take away people from the streets. For example, the mother often hosted young women who were caught in very bad environment, pushing them to sell themselves. Okay. So actually, we know that he really met these people. And it makes sense that since this was happening when he was very young, this left something, this changed him. And in fact, he's also fundraising associations and organizations to keep helping these people, okay, these youth in difficulty. So saying that he's fake and banal and monotone and repetitive, it doesn't make much sense. It is always the problem of is this banal and repetitive and the output of a persona, or is it a very specific style of the artist? I understand that sometimes the line between the two is quite thin. So, of course, sometimes it is hard to say if it is part of the persona, okay, or if it is just about being coherent with one style, okay. In this case, yes. Is it simple, the song? Yes. Does it do the job? Yes, as well. Again, sometimes, like, not all songs have to be ballads with 15 layers. Sometimes songs are just stories. Achille Lauro often did this. So, this song is in line with his style. So I don't really understand the criticism. Yes, you cannot appreciate the song. For example, usually the songs of Achille Lauro are not my type of song, is not my cup of tea, as one might say. But nonetheless, I understand that it fits a certain audience, a certain genre, a certain styles, and of course, it works for his fan base. And I'm perfectly fine for it without having to criticize it. So that was pretty much it. There's not much more I can say about this, because once again, the song is very easy and straightforward. So there's not much to analyze because everything is quite plain, to be honest. And probably this is also part of the success of the song, to be honest. That said, we'll keep going with summer hits if you want. Let me know if you want me to analyze other songs, maybe from Comuni Mortali, the album where Amor belongs. That said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Grazie everyone for watching and arrivederci.